Today's lesson is lesson number 6, which is the volume of 3D shapes. Now we're going to be focusing on rectangular and triangular prisms. And so to begin, we have a recall. And the recall is, what are the formulas to find the volume of the following figures? Rectangular prism, so that's a box. The volume of a box is calculated by finding length times width times height. And then for a triangular prism, we actually like to do it in 2 phases so that we remember what we're doing. We want to find the area of the triangle, which is base times height divided by 2, times the length of the box. And when we get to triangular prism, I'll show you what that means. It makes a little more sense. If we find the area of the triangle end first, it helps us problem solve which numbers to use. And then we need to always remember the 3 steps for solving. Just like in previous units, anytime we have a formula, we're going to write the formula down. We're going to fill in the information we have, and then we're going to solve and label. We're going to do that for every problem today. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. Our first shape is a rectangular prism. So my formula is length times width times height. When I fill in what I know, my length of my box is 4. The width of my box is also 4. And then the height of my box is 6. And when I put that in my calculator, I end up with 96. Now when we talk about labels, I obviously see it's going to be centimeters, but a volume is a 3-dimensional box, so it has a little 3. And it's because I've used 3 different dimensions. I have length, width, and height. Centimeter was written 3 times, and so we put a cubed on my label. 3-dimensional shapes have cubed labels. My second problem today is a right triangular prism. So I need to start by looking at those triangular ends, okay? I have my right angle in them, and what I need to do is think about my formula. The formula for the volume of a triangular prism is base times height divided by 2, that's going to come from the triangle, times the length of the shape. So when I think about the base and height of the triangle end, here's that triangle, base and height make the right angle. So that's 5 and 12. I don't care about this number 13 at all. All I care about is 5 times 12 divided by 2, that's going to be the triangle end, times the length. The length is how many triangles get stacked in here. How deep is that figure? And I see it as 10. So making sure you choose the right values is really important for volume. The 13 wasn't helpful. We would only need that 13 for surface area. For volume, it wasn't necessary. And from here, I can proceed to solve. 60 divided by 2, my triangle end was 30. 30 times 10 is 300. And then we label centimeters. It's a 3-dimensional shape, so it's centimeters cubed. And there we have the volume. And lastly, we have a trapezoidal prism. And so we don't have a formula for this, but I can think about what I know. And I'm going to actually cut this apart. I see I have a triangular prism here and a triangular prism here. The nice thing is they're the same. And then in the middle, I have a rectangular prism. And so I need to find those individual parts and then add them all together. So I'm going to start with the rectangular prism because that's the easy one. So volume is length times width times height. So this box has a length of 25, a width of 8 inches deep, and then the height of the box, I didn't see it over my first line, but I know the height of the box is 15. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that on my calculator to figure out the volume of the box in the middle. And I end up with 3,000. Now, my triangular prisms, I know for finding their volume, it's going to be base times height divided by 2, that's the triangle part, times the length of the shape. So, looking at just the triangle, and I chose this purple one because I have the numbers that go with it. Base and height make the right angle, so that's 6 and 8. So I have 6 times 8 divided by 2, that's a triangle end, times how many stacks of triangles? 15. So I'm going to figure out what is the volume for one triangle. And when I put that in my calculator, I got 360. The nice thing is I know the other triangle is the same for this one. So I'm going to add up all my values. My first triangle was 360 plus the 3,000 for the box in the middle plus another 360 for the other end. So now that I have all parts of this shape added together, I end up with my total volume, which is 3,720. And my label in this case is inches, and it's 3D, so it's inches cubed because volume is cubed.